Success is achieved and maintained by those who try and keep trying. W. Clement Stone. My friends, one of my daughters gave me, a terrible cold that I've gotten here sort of at the end of winter. Oh, yeah, it is. Actually, it's spring. So at the very end of winter, beginning of spring, I got the winter cold. And I hope I don't go into a coughing spell during this. I've got a cough drop in my mouth. I am hopeful I can get through this. I don't know if I'm going to have the energy and stamina to get the charting cryptos and commodities out and the three-wave trades. I'll see what I can do. But if I do that, Patreon members, I'm probably not going to email it to you. That's a whole nother set of things I'd have to do. I'll probably just download it right to the Patreon page. So let's jump into these charts. Fascinating. I had to come to you today. Even when I had COVID, I came to you most every day, except maybe the first couple. But we see that the markets pulled back big time. The S&P 500 pulling back 1.70%, and the NASDAQ 100 back 1.36%. You can tell this happened at the end of the day. There comes the coffin. Okay. We see that prices moved above the trend line on the half day. On the 2-day also, as we look at where things are as far as our trend line goes here on the weekly, we can, of course, tell that we've got 3 candles attached there. Price is still down below that. We have a doji showing lots of indecision. You can see where the up move has so far been put down, and you can see all of this craziness at the end of the day. Does it happen to do with the Fed decision? Could. So do pay close attention. We're stalling here on the 30 EMA, exponential moving average, and we'll see if things are going to drop over. We look at volume as we passed Wednesday. It's about half of what it was last week with this strong down move. So we'll keep our eye on things. We look at the 2-day, first day of the latest 2-day candle, about half of what the volume was on the prior one. Again, long wick on top. Looks like a little bit of a wick on the bottom maybe. Now we go from the S&P 500 to the NASDAQ 100. Check out where price has bumped up to. We had where things really shot up, higher volume here. This was back on the week beginning the 30th of January. And then everything just sort of slid sideways, drooped on the 30 EMA, and then has popped back up to it. Now, is this going to be a ceiling, this purple line? We'll wait, watch, and see. We can see where it was before back in here many, many weeks ago, months ago. So we will keep an eye on things and see if indeed with this Fed news, it's going to affect the overall market. You guys know that with stocks, you never know. That's why we have to read the charts. But you can see where we had lots of indecision at the end of the day, super high volume, and somebody was selling and somebody was buying, somebody was clearing out inventory. So we will see tomorrow if indeed things start rolling over hard, or if the market just eats that and then starts to shoot up again. I sort of have a feeling there might be a barrier here, but I don't know that. So we'll wait, watch, and see. Maybe have a chance to short again. Let's go to bonds. Bonds up 1.33%, but you can see that it is a weak. Let's take a look at this. Bonds really shot up high this last week and have pulled back below the 30 EMA. We can see where we have had things roll over after, 2 days of doji. This is a little red spinning top trying to push through the weekly trend line. We saw where the half day, over 2.5 days of movement, including this morning, rolled over. And then it looks like at the end of the day, trying to move up and maybe resume that movement. We'll keep an eye on things and see how this week continues to move along. We still have a green doji. We do have that down movement. You can see just a little bit of it. And these things can fool you. When you are using these dashed lines like this, see, it looks like there's a tail on there. There is a little bitty tail, but not nearly as long as that line. So always pull off of it. Make sure you know exactly what you have. That's where we are on bonds. Still trying to move ahead. Gold up 1.70%. You know, gold has been nice since it switched over, hasn't it? Switched over, pushed through the 30 EMA, moved up, volume jacked up in one of these red spinning tops, giving you a nice clear warning. Gold was pulling back, then hit this bottom with some jacked up volume, and then took off up 1.70% going into the third week, the second week of nice up movement. Still haven't hit the highs of last week yet, so hopefully it'll keep building. Hope it's not just topping there. And again, we'll keep an eye on things. If you look over here, you can see where gold, again, hit up to a high. Let's just pull that in a little bit, slide this back so you can see. You can see where gold topped here. I think we talked about this yesterday, and then rolled over and down for a while. So we'll keep an eye both at this potential line of resistance and this potential line of resistance, i.e. a ceiling. So we'll see how gold goes. Now, Bitcoin pulling back big at the end of the day, 5.12%. Bitcoin had been chugging up and then just sort of sideways and putting up a little bit in the morning and then rolling over in the afternoon. 2 weeks of up movement. Volume is average on the weekly, above average on that last 2-day candle, and this latest one up pretty good, but we can see where a lot of that volume at the end of the day was down volume. So we'll keep an eye on things, see which way Bitcoin is going. Thank you so much, folks, for being with us. We always appreciate you. We love to hear from you. cw@chartingwealth.com is the way that you write us. And I made it through without coughing too much. I hope you didn't hear the cough drop tumbling around in my mouth. God bless. All the best, my friends, from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.